When are you guys, because we're all watching your competitor, the AF,
right.
When do you guys start playing?
We start playing 2020.
All right.
2020.
We launch basically a year from now.
Same time,
At
right?
the same time. So you'll be going head-to-head with the AAF, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Now, they're getting a lot of good publicity, and it's football, and so, I watch it a little bit.
Sure.
But where they're botching it, in my opinion, and I think you guys are going to capitalize on this, correct me if I'm wrong, is I don't know any of the players. The only thing I know are the coaches. And I'm not going to watch it to see Mike Singletary stand there on the sideline. No disrespect to Pep. You know what I mean? I want to see
the way Pep
players.
stands is unbelievable.
Yeah.
You've got to see
No, the
this.
coaches are the bigger names in the AAF.
Yeah,
no
you just
doubt.
don't know the players. It's hard for me as a fan. I want to know. I want to be invested in the guys. I like the old USFL model where they went after, and I know people aren't going to spend millions the way they used to, but I'd go after a RG3 or a Cap, or I know Johnny Manziel. I guess there's a rule. Vince doesn't want anybody with a record. Okay, I get that, but. Are we going to go after some bigger name guys?
So
How are you going to get any players?
I'll say, who's going to play? Who knew? I'll say this, that we're going to try to attract quality quarterbacks because I believe, Pep believes, we all believe the quality of the quarterback play is going to determine
Sets
the
the
quality of our
tone.
play, right?
Right.
It sets the tone, exactly. Right. So we think that we can be attractive to guys who are practice squad quarterbacks or backups.
Yeah.
Who aren't playing.
But you got to offer them the money.
That's right. That's right. And it's got to be more than the $70,000 that the other guys in the other league are offering. So, and we can do that, right? Vince does have some significant
Yeah, he's
capital.
got some deep pockets.
Does he have a lot of corporate sponsorship behind him, though, or investors behind him, or is it all Vince?
No, it's all Vince.
He's insane.
He's got
all
that much cash?
Insane.
He's old now.
He's a genius.
Combination of both.
Well, I can't get inside his head, right? But he's relatively wealthy.
Yeah.
Right.
He runs a publicly traded company. I mean, it's all public information in terms of the stock.
The value of the company,
the value of his stock holdings at WWE. He's a chairman and CEO. He effectively, controls the company. And he loves football.
Right.
That's the great thing for me and Pep and others. He loves football. He doesn't know that much about the game.
Right.
I think he got kicked off his high school team for fighting.
Right.
But he loves the game. He loves the game and loves what it means for the American fabric.
How are you guys going? I'm sorry. How are you guys going to decide? Is there going to be a draft, and then because the AAF did the quarterbacks, they kind of selected the quarterbacks for the teams, and then the other players were regional players.
Right.
So how will the XFL?
We'll have a draft, right, for all of our players. I
everybody.
don't want to ever allocate a player,
Okay.
right, because then it looks like it's a little bit skewed, or one team is being favored.
Because it's obviously skewed in the AAF. Because Orlando has much more talent from what I've seen, than the other teams.
Well, they've also tried to regionally distribute the talent.
That's what
too,
I'm saying.
I think.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I think a distribution system like the draft without any restrictions is the best way to go, because that will allow the Pep to pick the players that he wants to pick for his his style of play.
Pep, did you know you have a quarterback who's 1-0 right here in studio that beat a professional team?
Where's the
now
picture?
we beat a professional women's team, but it was tackle football, and we won. I mean, he could go
If you ever need a backup.
10 years ago.
And by the way, 4 for 4 on extra points, coach.
Now
Right over here.
he's got the size you're probably looking for, 6'6", but his age probably precludes him.
You don't like 48-year-old guys.
Oh, no, he's a monument in the pocket. Right?
That's funny.
Let me ask you.
Workers' compensation is an important issue for us. So that's one of the reasons.
I would need it.
That's one of the reasons.
Our playbook was only about 8 plays deep.
Yeah, but I still needed a wristband. That is a true story.
By the way, we were flagged 13 times in the game, and most of them were phantom calls.
Well, they were cheating. The refs were cheating.
Yeah.
But we did win.
Yep.
All right, so from what I remember from the XFL, and how many years now has it been? 10?
18.
It's been 18?
Yeah, 18.
Oh, my
Think
God.
about 2001.
We're all dying.
That's crazy.
So here's what I remember from the XFL. A lot of hype, a lot of excitement, the nicknames on the jerseys and everything, some gimmicky stuff, but the play was kind of ragged, right? We felt like, at least the perception was, that the product was shoved out there a little quick. And I don't know. I remember watching it for several weeks, more than I'm watching this AAF.
We actually had a fantasy league.
We did,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I remember it got a lot
We're degenerates.
Sad but true.
No, but it got a lot of good publicity. Even like, I still remember He Hate. Everybody remembers He Hate.
Everybody remembers He Hate.
Everybody
Everyone
remembers that,
remembers
right? So the publicity was there, but it died. How is this go-around going to be different?
Better football. Simple answer. Better football.
What about the gimmicks?
We're gonna reduce the gimmicks to a 0 level. So that doesn't mean we can't innovate, right? Do things a little bit differently, right?
So we're not going to have a scrum at the beginning.
We're not going to have a scrum. I mean, listen, Americans like football, but even more important, I think Americans respect football, and they don't want to diminish the game.
Right.
They don't want to, gimicize, if that's a word, the game, right? And that's the mistake I think that Vince made back in 2009.
Correct me if I'm wrong. We're old. We were big fans of the USFL, and I know I was, and it was doing well. But then their problem was, right, they decided to take on the NFL head-to-head, right?
Nobody takes on the NFL.
Right.
The
So
NFL
just
is
find your niche.
I love the NFL. Pep loves the NFL.
Love
right? America loves the NFL.
Yeah.
Nobody
Pep
takes
made a
on
lot
the
of money in the NFL.
Right.
Diehard Redskins.
A lot more than I made
Really?
in my
Well, he
career.
went to Howard,
Yeah.
local. So, what about the offensive? Are there going to be any different rules offensively? AAF
Well,
is
we're
trying
going to meet and discuss the details of the rule book, but as far as I know going into it, we're going to do like you would do in any case. You're going to find a way to put your players in the best position to be successful, and to saying that we can't do certain things, but it'll be a similar process to any implementation of a game plan that I've ever had.
Do you think that there are going to be extra points?
Yes.
Or there will be. Okay.
We're going to have 3 extra points. We're going to have a 1-point, a 2-point, and a 3-point extra point.
Ooh,
So there's a
First time
gimmick.
you hear that.
We're
So
going
there's
to have a
gimmick.
9-point touchdown. I think that makes sense to allow it, and it's going to be hard to make that 3-point extra point. Obviously.
What's it going to be, like 50-plus yarder, something like that?
No kicks.
Oh, no kicks.
No kicks. No kicks for extra points. Play football.
Okay.
So that's what I was asking.
But you're going to have field goals.
I haven't briefed Pep on some of these things.
So he's still learning. He's still
We should
learning.
mention Oliver Luck's joining us. He's the new commissioner of the XFL. Pep Hamilton is going to coach the DC team. Who hired you? Just I am unaware. It's not. Is there an owner of a DC team, or it's just so the XFL? So he hires you, and you're hiring the coaches of all the teams.
Correct.
You got it.
Got you.
And then, do you put together your staff that you
Yes.
want? Okay.
Yes, I will. I've
Okay.
already started that process.
Good.
And-
okay.
And you're the GM as well. That sounds like a lot of work. Coach and GM?
That is a lot of work.
All right, think Al Davis back in the 70s.
Okay.
Head
Right.
coach, general manager of the Raiders.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So that was an era when Pep and I are old enough to remember this. All you guys too. That was an era when the coaching staff really did all the personnel work in the
Right.
offseason.
Right.
They didn't have an army of scouts, maybe 1 or 2. Remember Blesto?
Oh, yeah.
Bills, Lions,
Sure.
Eagles, Steelers. They
The scouting
combined
organization,
resources.
yeah.
Okay,
Well-
so taking a page out of the 70s.
It also eliminates another salary you got to pay.
Oh, yeah, good
That's
idea.
true. That's true. All right, let me ask you this. What is your TV deal? Do you have a
Yeah.
TV deal yet?
We will announce very soon a television deal. It'll be very powerful, right? So we have 8 teams in this league. We'll have
Right.
4 games a weekend. That's my West Virginia math.
Right.
And we will have 2 of those 4 games on over-the-air terrestrial carriers,
Right.
brands that everybody recognizes, and 2 of those games on fully distributed cable.
Wow.
Very
Will-
cool.
will
Pretty
the-
all
pretty
available.
Will the draft be televised?
That's a good question. I don't know yet.
Okay.